From the studios of KENW on the campus of Eastern New Mexico University, it's You Should Know, featuring the people and events of Eastern New Mexico and West Texas.
With me now is Chris Baca, and Chris is a program specialist here in Portales with the Educational Opportunity Center. And Chris, why don't you tell me what that is and what you do?
Okay, we're a federally funded TRIO program that takes care of students over the age of 19 that have finished their GED or have gone to college or want to go now if they're older or want to go back and get it done. We assist them with the FAFSA application process, admissions, pretty much anything they need to do to go into college. I can assist them to get the paperwork done and get it going for them.
Okay, and so you're here kind of to talk with me, and hopefully people around this area will that are interested in that sort of thing will listen and come and contact you.
Yes.
Where is your office located?
I'm in the SAS building 107 with financial aid. Usually just go up to the front desk. They know where I'm and they know how to get a hold of me in the back and send you back to me.
Uh-huh. Okay. And what and how many you've done this for a while, right? You were
the program started in July. I started working this program in July.
Oh, okay.
Before that, I was teaching high school at Clovis Christian before that for 2 years. And then I was a middle school basketball coach there. And then this program came up, and I think I can assist more people in this program than I was teaching. So,
okay. Can you give me the average person we need for people to know out there that they don't have to fit within a really special age? Do they? I mean, they do have to be over 19.
Over 19, yeah, from my program. Yeah. So as long as you're 19 to as old as you can, anybody of any age out there. I mean, you could be, I have people I've been talking to in their 50s, 60s, they want to go back. So they want to finish up what they started. So it's a good start for anybody who wants to go back and finish or wants to start something or start a new career now, as an adult.
Yeah, they could have already a college degree, but there's some other thing that they want to do, or
no, it's only got to be the first haven't completed their degree. It's got to be their first degree. Yeah.
Okay. Then it would be someone like who had gone to work delivering Cokes to the stores out here, or maybe somebody that's tired of getting up and going to engineer a train in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
all by himself.
Yeah, it's like anybody like that wants to come in and kind of discuss, want to look at going to college and finding a new career path or going back and finishing. Like I said, there's quite a few people that start and then they figure out they don't think they can continue and they can go back. We can help them get back in there and continue because I can go back. Once they fill out the paperwork with me and I get them their FAFSA going and get everything going for them and they get back into classes, I'll check in with them from time to time to see how things are going and make sure they don't need any help or any more resources needed around campus. So we get them other resources and get them with the other programs on campus that can help them with any tutoring or anything like that.
Do you find that a lot of people are kind of a little scared of doing something like this? I mean, they're 50 years old and their job maybe disappeared. Yeah. And now they realize that to match that salary, they're going to have some education. But they come to you because they don't think they can do it themselves. And it's good. It's good that they come to you.
I have a lot of people that have trouble filling out the FAFSA. They get confused on the FAFSA a little bit on what they need to fill out, the income wise and what income tax forms they need and all that to do it. And because the FAFSA is weird, it doesn't go by the federal aid tax year of last year. It goes with the tax year for 2020, 2021 for right now. So a lot of people get confused and try to put their FAFSA to the FAFSA their income tax for last year. And that doesn't work. It's got to be a year back, one more year back for it to work. So that's why I think people get confused when they have to do it that way.
Okay. And so about how much, I mean, can they get enough aid to help them through if they have quit their job or they don't have a job, and they need to eat and stay someplace? Well, they're going to school here. How hard is it for them to get financial aid?
It's pretty easy if they're depending on based on their income, what their income was then. And once they put their income in, it kind of at the end of the FAFSA, it kind of shows you what you qualify in grants, what you qualify in loans, and what you qualify in the end. It kind of shows there what you got, and from there it goes over to the financial aid office, and they kind of finish it off on that end for that.
Okay. Well, suppose I was one of those people, and I came in and I said, I know I've got to have a higher education, but I don't know what I want to be. What are some things I can do?
We can sit down and we can discuss career exploration. We can look at different degrees offered here at Eastern, different degrees offered at Clovis Community College, be them, like the STEM careers or into air conditioning or to heating and cooling, stuff like that. And we can look into stuff like that and see where you fit in, and where we can find you the best place to go.
Yeah. We have a really nice nursing program here too.
We can do that too. They'll help you look into nursing if you wanted to go into that.
So you can help people in a lot of different ways. The applications. I remember applying to go to college, and I was home. I was in New York, and I didn't have anybody to ask about things. I had to guess what it was they really wanted on this question, all of those kinds of things. Can they bring an application to your office and you'll help them with it?
Yeah, we'll help them do that. Fill out the application for admissions, for financial aid, for anything, any application they need to fill out to go into a program, we can do that. I can do that.
Okay. And have you had much business so far this year?
I've had about 3 students, four with a lady I've been talking to on the phone. It's kind of iffy if she wants to come back or not still. So I got a few so far.
Do the people in this area, for instance, I know that it's not just New Mexico, by the way, it's almost every state in the union is having problems finding teachers. Do we have some people that come to you and say, hey, send us somebody, or will you point people in our direction because we really need the teachers?
No, I haven't yet had that yet, but it's something I look into, being that I was a teacher at one point myself. I kind of understand where they're coming from, the need for teachers, and I haven't had anybody actually look for that yet. Like I said, we just opened the program here in Portales in July, so it's kind of been a little bit slow getting people to come in, but
I think you'll find that you probably have some people eventually that they think, well, I'm just too old to go over there to college. Those people are all kids. Having been here for a long time, worked with students for a long time, I can tell you the older people are a little easier to work with. And I'm just kidding. I love you students. You're good people. But it's a little easier to work with people who understand discipline. Like, I've got to get my homework done by this time. I have to do this assignment, all those things. Is that what you find? You hope to find with these new people? Yeah,
and over the years, I've worked with different age groups with different stuff I've done around the Tinter community. I'm currently the grad knight with Knights of Columbus here, and I got to deal with people from the ages of 18 all the way through 77, 80 years old. So I'm used to changing how I need to talk to people and how, to make them understand and make them, look at the paperwork and kind of see where we're going with things. So it's kind of not too difficult for me. It's like I said, I've always been a person that can talk to people, and it's been something that's been part of my life a lot, talking to people.
Well, one of the things you're going to be able to do is financial counseling. Financial aid counseling, and just financial counseling. Sometimes people think they can go into some program and just spend as much as they like, and they're not going to have to pay this back, all that kind of thing. Yeah. So, what advice would you give to somebody who's going to have to borrow some money, in terms of how to figure out how much? Well,
really what I would say is not to borrow more than you need is really what the point is trying to get across, because a lot of people see that extra amount that's available and think, well, hey, there's extra money there, and don't realize that once they graduate 6 months afterwards, those loans are going to start being due. I mean, monthly payments added to another monthly payment added to your life, because they can get pretty expensive, student loans,
Yes, I did have a loan to pay back when I started teaching many years ago, and it it's kind of a surprise. You have to you
Yeah.
have to figure out that much money, and it's like they'll come and take your car away. Well, they won't come and take your car away, but you'll end up having to pay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
discovered that myself. I'm also a doctoral student at the University of Arizona right now, about to finish it, and having to do extra plus loans in order to make the amount to pay off the debt, the tuition and stuff. It kind of leaves you where I have all this extra debt coming up now. Now that as I'm getting older, I'm realizing it's going to be a lot to pay off in the end.
Okay. Let's talk about some careers that people might be interested in that are available around here. Now, we've talked about teaching. I know because my wife has worked for a doctor for many, many years that any kind of medical thing that you can do is good. And a lot of these, she's an ultrasound sonographer.
Yeah.
Well, she had to have really good anatomy courses, and Eastern offered them, and she took them and is doing very well with her job. But there are places people can work, but they didn't realize that they needed to take this science or that science, and you can look at the catalog and help them
help
with
them
that,
figure
can't
out
you?
what they need to do, what classes they need to take, what's the most important ones. I even got paperwork from the WIOA program that shows me what are the jobs that are in demand locally right now in the state of New Mexico, and it kind of gives me a list of what's in demand and what they have available to help.
Yeah.
You finish the degree to get into a job that's on demand, and right now the top of their list is teaching and nursing. The top of their in demand.
Yeah.
So
Very good. We also here at Eastern have some classes in law and order, or that I would imagine those folks are
and the police officers are in
police
demand as
officers.
well, and a lot of criminal justice prosecutors and stuff like that are in demand here in New Mexico as well.
Okay. How about living quarters for people like that? We used to have Vetville over here. That makes me really old to tell you that. but we used to have Vetville over here, and it was a place where literally the veterans that had just gotten out of World War II would come and stay and go to school at Eastern. Can we help them with housing?
That's one thing I'm not 100% sure on. That's maybe a question for the housing department, because I'm not 100% sure on that yet. It's something that I've encountered yet, but I'm sure there's probably a way to accommodate in some way.
I know we have married student
Yeah.
apartments, and so they would probably be able to help
Accommodate
them
in some way.
accommodate it. Yeah. I those big buildings that we tore them down, the 7-story, those two halls. I always would mention to somebody who was a little older, say, you might not want to live in one of those 7-story dorms. Sometimes you have to walk up.
Yeah.
Because the elevators would, stop on them sometimes. But that was good. Have you gone over statistics at all about how much difference a person can earn if they have a bachelor's degree or just a high school education, those sorts of things?
I haven't seen the new numbers, but I've looked at some of the numbers before in the past, and some of those it shows a difference, a big difference. Part of my doctoral research is helping the first generation student go into college and stuff. So I've looked at a little bit of the statistics there for that research. And you can tell there's a major difference of what somebody in high school can make, with a high school diploma can make in a lifetime, that somebody with a bachelor's degree can make over a lifetime.
Yeah.
It's a major difference. It can really change someone's life getting a bachelor's degree.
What does a university have any kind of book? I would think now that on the internet this would be the best place to look, but there are probably more careers than a lot of these people have ever even thought about.
I'm sure there's plenty out there. There's a lot of new ones that come up all of a sudden that you don't realize that were out there and that you need a degree for. I mean, that's where I come in and kind of we do some research and we kind of look into it and help the person kind of figure out, hey, is this career right for me or is it not? You know, we hate to get somebody started to a program, get halfway through and they decide, hey, this program isn't for me, so I'm going to leave this program. And then they end up having to start over again. And that's one thing we want to try to do is get you into a program where you can figure out what you want to do and kind of find a career out of it. And not something you want to start and say, well, maybe this will work. And then you get halfway through and say, no, I don't like this program. Let's do something else. And the funding's not there then because you already used a lot of your funding, you know.
One of the things I saw happen in my lifetime, veterinarians now have veterinary assistants, and they'll have 2 veterinarians in the office and 6 assistants or whatever they think they need. And we have a terrific program here that helps veterinary assistants or gets them ready to go to school to become veterinarians. Now, I wouldn't try that at 69, going back to
become a veterinarian,
anything like that. It does take a while, but it was amazing to watch how good the program was or is, and how many students got really interested in it. When they're close to our building here, and when there's a class, it's hard to find a place to park.
Yeah.
And
with the veterinary program, there's a lot of good things you can do now. I mean, there's a vet school pretty close now. The one in Texas Tech opened the one in Amarillo, so you don't have to go as far now to get a full veterinarian degree.
And this is certainly a country that needs it.
They utilize it a lot.
Especially the dairies here, I would think would need a lot of, and large animal veterinarian.
Yeah.
Let alone dogs. Everybody I know has some sort of, they have poo on the end of the name because it's part poodle.
Yeah.
Even the crossbred dogs are selling for a lot of money, and being the vet is a very good thing for them to do. Do they ever have you come, or will they have you come, or will you go to high schools and speak to some of the kids who are about to hit 19 or maybe 19? I was 18 when I graduated, but I was close to 19.
Really, the other TRIO programs cover the high school, like Talent Search and Upward Bound cover the ones that are still in high school. What I cover, like last week, I went up to Clovis Community College and I visited with the students that are getting their GED there, their adult education program. I went and talked to them and discussed my program with them and kind of let them know that I'm available to help and what I can do to help.
Okay.
So that's what I really deal with a lot of on a day-to-day basis is students getting their GEDs or people that have left college and want to return back and can't figure out what path they want to go back.
Yeah. Okay. Well, can you give them figures on the interest on the loans? And if they're going to borrow money, or do you let the financial aid people just tell them that?
I let the financial aid office deal with that. That's something they're more experienced with than I am on that end. So I'm more of the guy that helps you with the paperwork, with the FAFSA stuff, and get all the paperwork in and see where you can get you in and go from there, and then check up on you as you're going through classes to make sure you don't need any more assistance that way.
That's a good point. You're not just going to stick them out there and say, "See you later. Hope you get your homework done, or your assignments done."
Yeah.
So you will.
Yeah, the program has us follow up and see what's going on, how their grades are going and all that, and see what they're going, and if they need help, and show them what other programs are available on campus to get help, like tutoring services or the student success program and all that. And we can get them in there and get them help there for tutoring and keep their grades up and keep them going, get them to that degree in the end and make sure they complete it.
Yeah. And will you be kind of like a parent in terms of keeping track of grades for people that have gotten into the program?
No, not really. What I'll do is when it gets time to the grades, about closer to grade times coming out, I'll call and kind of check on them and kind of see where they're going and make sure that see what they tell me on how their grades are going and stuff like that, and go from there.
That sounds good. All right, and let's give them right now. Once again, your address and
Okay.
you have a phone number too that they can call.
Yeah, I have a couple of phone numbers they can call. I'm located in the SAS building with financial aid. You can always go to the front desk and ask them, or you can call the number to financial aid and they can direct your call to me. But my office number is 575-562-2281. I also have a work cell, but they can call those
Yeah.
numbers and get a hold of me because I'm here Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, but sometimes I'm in Roswell on Mondays. So if they ever need to get a hold of me and I'm not here, they can always call that cell phone number and they can leave me
Okay.
a message.
Well, can you tell me tell me about your previous experience in teaching? I was a teacher for 1 year. I don't know that much about it,
Yeah.
but yeah. What do you think about working with students and teaching? Is that something that we ought to encourage people out there to try? I once heard uh, an officer at a school, a principal, say, "I'd rather hire some of these people that have went to school late and they're adults. I like the way they react and they come in, they report, they don't take all of their sick leave, all of those kinds of things." What did you think about getting into education?
It was a good experience. I mean, I got to know a lot of students really well and got to work with families really well and learn about their dynamics and stuff. And it was pretty good. I mean, it's something I probably wouldn't go back to if I ever had to go back. But
Mm.
teaching was something that I always wanted to try, and I did that. And I did it for 2 years with Clovis Christian for 2 years, and then did basketball coaching there. And then before that, I did a year here at Portales High School, where I did high school special ed. And that's one thing I'll never go back to.
Mm.
That was a big challenge to do that for me. It was a challenge for me.
What is your doctorate going to be in?
It's a doctorate in psychology with a specialization in educational leadership.
Uh-huh. And what are some of the problems? I just heard today someone say that our children are having problems because of climate change. I think that's reaching a little too far. I think families are very important.
Yeah.
And is a family important, do you think, for somebody that's older? I would think that would be that if they have children, the children would be really proud that mom or dad was working in a college program.
Yeah, and I've found that families that are very supportive of each other are the ones that make it work out and help them to be able to succeed and graduate from college. I mean, if you have family members that are sitting there and helping you and encouraging you to continue, that's the best thing to have, because once you have that encouragement going, you can really go anywhere with the encouragement of others.
Okay. Well, I think it's wonderful that we have this kind of program. And I know that you're going to find lots of people out there that have decided, you know what I should have done? I should have gone to college. Maybe they weren't ready then, but I think that there aren't too many adults out there that wouldn't do a really good job in our programs here. And hopefully, yeah, I know you're just starting right this year. Hopefully, you'll get to know all these really nice people around here on campus. All of us want to help our students whenever we have a chance to do that kind of thing with you. So we appreciate your being here and hope that a whole lot of people get in touch with you soon.
Yeah, I hope so too.
It'll take a while. They kind of have to hear about the program and those sorts of things, but
Yeah.
I think you'd be, if you're willing and you want to change your life and you want to do something like this, you'd be crazy not to approach someone like yourself who can help with all the paperwork, all of the, point you toward the money,
Yeah.
point you over in this direction toward the different careers and so forth. So it's great to have you here, and we appreciate that, and we'll put we will have had your phone number for your office on the bottom of the screen,
Okay.
and we'll make sure that if we get calls here, we'll point them over in your direction.
All right.
Thank you very much for being here, and good luck on this first year. And I know things will get a lot better for you.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Okay, you're sure welcome. And thank you very much for watching.